So I am in La Bodega Borinqueña, the Puerto Rican bodega, and I come across El Cresote. El Cresote is known in English as tar water. And this is a very magical spiritual product that we use within Hispanic communities. Now, this brand that you see here is very popular amongst the Caribbean Hispanic community. You can find Creolina, which is this brand, in bodegas catering to Hispanic communities. You can find it in botanicas, in curio spiritual shops. Other brands are very popular, such as La Bomba Santera. Now, Cresote tar water, or Creolina, is used for cleansing and purifying the home. It is used to help remove negative thought forms from within the house, such as la envidia, envy, mal de ojo, evil eye, ataques psíquicos, psychic attack, and spiritual pollutions within the house. It is also used to remove la magia negra, black magic, to help ward off larvas astrales, astral larva, parásitos espirituales, spiritual parasites, and gusanos astrales, astral worms. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is how to do a lava piso. Lava piso is a spiritual floor wash to cleanse and purify the house of negative vibrations. But before you cleanse the house, you have to make sure you cleanse yourself. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxiety, in a bad mood, don't cleanse the house until you cleanse yourself, because what you're going to do is spread your negative vibrations to the house. So cleanse yourself first. So the first part for a lava piso is to boil water, right? I see a lot of people boiling their herbs. This is wrong, because all your ache is going to evaporate. All that magical spiritual property that we need in our spiritual baths, in our lava pisos, evaporate. So just boil your water. Don't boil your herbs. So now that my water is boiling, I'm gathering my herbs. You can use fresh herbs or dried herbs. These are all herbs para la protección, for protection. I have vencedor, arrasa con todo, apazote, rompe saragüey, y la famosa ruda. You can use one of these, 3 of these, or 5 of these. Never use even numbers, always odd number in spiritual workings. The next thing that I'm going to get is my balde espiritual. My balde is a mop bucket to, make my spiritual lava piso. I only use this balde for spiritual work. So I make floor washes with it, or large amounts of spiritual baths. I have my balde espiritual. So now I'm going to gather my liquids. Of course, I'm going to use la creolina. I'm going to use a spiritual cologne. I'm using Siete Macho, a Mexican spiritual cologne. You can use Florida water, any spiritual cologne that you want. I'm just going to use Siete Macho de Mexico. And King pine. It has to be king pine, maybe less oil. King pine I use because pine is very purifying. It's used for protection, to remove all evil energy, psychic attack, and it makes the house smell pretty nice. So pine is associated with protection. So I'm going to use el famoso king pine. And finally, the last item that I'm going to use, you do not have to use this. We do use it in Hispanic brujeria. 3 gotitas de orinación de madrugada. La orinación is a ammonia that comes from the body, and we use it para romper toda brujería, toda envidia, toda mala energía. La orinación de madrugada is going to work for you. Now, in a palangana, a basin, I'm going to add my dried herbs. If you have fresh herbs, use fresh herbs. All these herbs are for la protección, or for removing negative energy. If you can't find the herbs I mentioned, Google herbs for protection and removing negative energy. I'm going to add the hot water over this. I do not boil my herbs when I'm using it for spirituality. You should never boil herbs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to steep my oil, making a spiritual tea. If you boil your herbs, all your ache is going to evaporate. So now I'm going to stir my lava piso You notice that I did not boil the herbs. I am letting it steep in its own hot water to get all that tea that we need for our spiritual lavapiso. Here I'm going to add las gotas de orinación de madrugada. If you do not feel comfortable con la gota de orinación de madrugada, remove this part. This is used para romper toda brujería. Now, before you can start using your lavapiso, make sure that the tea is completely cooled down. You see, I did not boil my herbs, and I have a beautiful spiritual tea, very aromatic, very purifying, very cleansing, very demure, very demeaning, right? So now I'm gonna strain all these herbs. I have a strainer, and here is my balde. So now I'm going to strain my herbs. Here I have a strainer, and I'm going to put it on top of my balde where it sits naturally, and I'm going to strain all those herbs from this tea, this spiritual tea, este té que hice para lavapiso. You want to make sure that none of those herbs or resins or anything is in your lavapiso, because you don't want to be picking up after that. So strain this lavapiso twice, maybe 3 times. If you have cheesecloth, use cheesecloth. If you have a colador, a coffee colador, use that as well. Strain completely so your tea is nice and clean. So now that our tea is preparado, it's cooled down, I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to add my creolina, just a few drops. Remember, this smells strong. It's like tar water, just a few drops to my lavapiso. The next item, and this is any order that you want, I'm going to add my king pine, good for purification, for protection, amazing smell. Always stir clockwise and do any prayer of blessings that you want. And the next item that I'm going to add is my spiritual cologne. I'm using Siete Machos. You can find this at Mexican markets, Mexican bodegas. Sorry, I couldn't say that. Add a few of that. If you cannot find Los Siete Macho, use any spiritual cologne that you want. You could use Agua Florida, which is very popular in the Caribbean. Any spiritual cologne that you want to use for your lavapiso is fine. And finally, I'm going to add La Agua Bendita, holy water from a Catholic church. I'm going to add as much as you want. Do a prayer of blessing, purification, and your lavapiso is ready. Now, although this is a lavapiso, you can take half of this or some of it, place it into another bucket or a pan or whatever, and use this to cleanse the windows, the windowsills, cabinets, counters, cleanse the front of the door to purify and to remove negative energy. So yes, it is a lavapiso, but you could also use it to wipe down the house and cleanse the walls, and especially the front door. Now, before you spiritually mop your house, make sure you get un mapo nuevo, un trapeador nuevo, a brand new mop. Do not use the mop that you've already used to physically cleanse the house. This is for spiritual use only. Begin in the back of the house, the way you mop your house after you, of course, you sweep. Begin in the back and mop all the way until you get to the front door. You can do this spiritual mopping whenever you feel the house feels heavy, or whenever you just want to purify. I hope you enjoy this video. Sancista Brujo Luis. Ciao.